Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Double honors to the high priest, elders that were before them. Peace and salutations to sincere brothers out there pushing this word with all sincerity and in truth. It's a brother Tazamak from the Great Millstone Austin camp. And Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. Okay, I have a couple of news articles right here I want to go into concerning, forgive me, concerning this thing, that is being spoken about, which is raising concerns. Okay, and it is known as a flock camera. All right, and we're gonna read a little bit about it and tie some precepts to it. Okay, because ultimately, let's get to it real quick. It says a flock camera is an automated license plate reader made by Flock Safety. These solar-powered or wired roadside cameras capture vehicle license plates, make, model, color, and unique identifying features like bumper stickers. Law enforcement agencies, HOAs, and businesses use them to track vehicles and solve crimes. Though the system faces heavy public scrutiny regarding data privacy and potential misuse. All right, and it says the privacy and policy controversies. It says mass surveillance. All right, and I believe I got another. Let me see, where's it at? Okay, yep, there we go. It's this one, and this is from the LA Progressive. America's mass surveillance state, and we to understand that. Let's get a precept real quick because this is not a place of, like they say, a nation where you're free. They got a saying here: home of the brave, land of the free. This is a God-fearing nation, which it is not. Okay, and ultimately in these latter times, the truth is coming out, man. Okay, this is Psalms 50 and verse. Let's get verse 16. It says, "But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee?" The point is in verse 19, but this is concerning Esau Edom, and and Esau Edom is the self-proclaimed white man. Okay, the so-called Caucasian race. All right, and when I say the self-proclaimed white man, Esau Edom, it starts with the people that we know as the so-called Illuminati. All right, the so-called enlightened, the enlightened ones or whatever, the 13 bloodlines, man, Edomite rulership. Okay, the ones that are calling the shots ultimately, man. All right, which have ultimately orchestrated America, to as if America was a God-fearing nation, man. Like they say, a Christian God-fearing country. Okay, which is nothing but lies, man. This place was founded upon bloodshed of the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that make up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Okay, which you see here in the 12 tribe chart. All right, let's go back to the precept real quick. Psalms 50 and 16, but unto the wicked, which we understand the wicked is talking about Esau Edom. All right, you can go to Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. Esau Edom would be known as a border of wickedness, man. And we understand that our people are wicked itself, but in this particular chapter, it's talking about Esau Edom. Okay, but unto the wicked the Most High saith, and the Most High's name all right, who this world ignorantly calls God or Jehovah. His true and holy name is Yahweh, which means he exists. And the beloved Son, who this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his true and holy name is Yahweh Shai, which means he saves, he delivers. All right. But unto the Psalms 50 and 16, but unto the wicked, the Most High saith, what hast thou to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take in my covenant in thy mouth? As I was elaborating on that, Esau Edom has always pushed America, to be the greatest nation on planet Earth, a God-fearing country. All right. Which is a bunch of lies, man. Okay. They are Esau Edom, came over here, committed a genocide to the so-called indigenous tribes, okay, the so-called Latinos, all right, enslaved the so-called Negroes, man, from Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, the southern kingdom. Okay, verse 17, seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee, because if this was a God-fearing country, okay, there would be no murder, no murder allowed. Okay, there would be no perpetual hatred shown. All right. When what happened to love thy neighbor, man. Okay, the history of America is nothing but rape, rob, and murder. Verse 18, when thou sawest a thief, thou consents with him, and has been partaker with adulterers. Okay. Let's get this in the AMP. When you see a thief, you are pleased with him and condone his behavior, and you associate with adulterers, man. So that makes Esau Edom a hypocrite. Okay. Look at all the stuff that's going on in the so-called Middle East. All right. Talking about peace deals 1 second, and then the next second, you dropping bombs, man. All right. And Esau is a profane person, man. He's an idolater. All right. Verse 19, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. You see, you give your mouth to evil and your tongue frames deceit, because Esau Edom is a liar. All right. The scriptures go into that. The wicked are estranged from the womb. Let's get that real quick. And then I'm going to get back to those articles that I want to get into. This is a book of, let me see, where's it at? Thought I had it here. Give me a sec. The wicked, I have to type this up now. Okay. Psalms 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be speaking lies. All right. So, as you know, because they are created to be wicked, man. So as soon as they come out, let's put it like that. Brother once said, if an Edomite baby could talk, as soon as it comes out, it would be speaking lies, man. Okay. But that's just to prove that, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, man. All right. So, going back to Psalms 50 and verse 19, thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. You see, so this place, now we're coming to find out, this place ain't the home of the free, man. And this whole flock camera situation is proving it. Okay, because they try to justify it, like this is government, for government related issues, or for ICE, the whole immigration, they using it, all right. But all the truth is coming out, man. And you got police departments. All right, I believe I got another. Where's it at, man? I believe on the news. Let me get to it. You see, flock camera scandals. So there's a lot of scandals coming out now with these flock. That's what I'm going into. Okay. You see, 3 ex-Georgia deputies used flock cameras to stalk people, man. So what exactly they gonna use, with these whole called flock cameras, man? They're gonna be used ultimately to ramp up people, man, to track people down. All right, to incurse what's it called? To lock you up, in small words, man. Track you down, lock you up. All right, they ultimately is gonna be a mass surveillance, man. Just how it is in China. That's what it's coming to, man. All right, it says right here, millions of Americans are being watched as the U.S. ramps up mass surveillance with help from AI. You see, so now people starting to find out, hey, this country ain't what is said to be. Okay, let's get Psalms. Let me see, Psalm 64 and verse 2. Okay, and we're gonna read it in the AMP. Hide me from the secret counsel and conspiracy of the ungodly, from the scheming of those who do wrong, man. And this is, the devices of the wicked, man. All right, they gonna most likely false accuse you. All right, accuse you of certain things. Say we saw you here and there. We got the proof. All right, they I believe they're using this to track down so-called immigrants also. Okay, there's a lot of cases going on that this really works, man. These whole flock things is really what's it called? What's this word I'm trying to use? Um, it violates privacy, in other words. Okay, and more stuff is gonna come out regarding this, but these are all schemes, man, of the ungodly, of those who do wrong, which is talking about Esau, Edom. Okay, because Esau, Edom's going to use this ultimately to benefit for itself. All right, growing surveillance network is tracking Americans with little oversight and often without a warrant, so they can come down, knock your doors down, and say we have proof that you did this and you did that, and falsely accuse you, man. This is Revelation 12 and verse 12. And I'm gonna pull it up in the blue letter Bible. Give me a sec. This is Revelation 12 and verse 12. And it reads, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right. And we read that what did it say on this article? With no warrant, without a warrant, man. Okay. And they exercising these with what? With the so-called Northern Kingdom, so-called Latinos, right? Following them, all right, ultimately locking them up or deporting them, man, throwing them a immigration detention center or whatever. Okay, but this is ultimately violating your freedom. Okay, and we've been starting with the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone, been telling you, this is Babylon the Great, man, spoken in the scriptures. All right, this place is full of lies, man. Let's get that real quick before I go into Revelation 12. I want to get what is it, Micah 3 and 1. Right? No, forgive me. It's Nahum 3 and 1. All right, which we understand Nahum 3 and 1 is speaking of Nineveh. Well, you could, this is modern day Nineveh. All right, America has multiple titles. You can relate in Nineveh, all right, to United States of America, which is Babylon the Great. All right, what's going on? Nahum chapter 3. It says, woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. And who is the prey, man? All right. Who is the prey in today's time? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. Esau is the predator. All right. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. And the people are starting to find out this place is full of lies, man. It's built upon robbery and it's full of lies. Okay, let's go into Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12 in the Blue Letter Bible. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right, let's get this word devil, which goes into a false accuser, a slanderer. Where's it at? G1228, Diablos, outline of biblical usage. Prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely. A false accuser and a slanderer, man. A traducer goes into slandering, ultimately. Satan, false accuser, devil, slanderer. All right, that's who's coming down with great wrath. And what they going to use all this whole flock cameras, man, to spy on you. All right, to do whatever they can, man. Mass surveillance. All right, lock you up if they want to. Okay, that's what it's coming down to. All right, I know I had another precept. Yep, going back to Psalms 50 and verse 20. All right, going into this devil, false accuser and a slanderer. Psalms 50 and 20. This is how we know it's speaking about Esau, Edom. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son. All right, because, next thing you know, you can have Esau, Edom, police knocking on your doors, man. Talking about like, hey, we accuse you of something. All right, knowing the fact that they know, man, where the prophets are at. Come on, Esau, Edom knows where the true prophets of the Lord are at, man. Where we work, where we live, and these flock cameras are proving it, man, because they got flock cameras. Ultimately, they're gonna have them everywhere, because this is what this nation is coming into, is becoming into a mass surveillance, man. Just like China. All right, just like Moab. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thy slanderest thy own mother's son, and you go into the account of Esau and Jacob and thy own mother's son, because Esau, Edom, and Jacob, right, our forefather, we had the same mother. All right, Rebecca, we had the same mother. And as in the days of old, Esau, Edom has been trying to slay us, man. All right, Esau, roughly paraphrasing, he said the days of my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Okay, so this ain't a new thing, man. This has been going on since the womb. When you go into Genesis 25, man, since the womb. All right, these things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Though thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes. All right, and Esau, Edom thought the Most High was with him because he got away with a bunch of stuff. All right, the perpetual hatred, all the atrocities he committed to our people, man, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, but the Lord said, "What? I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes." All right. And the Lord, started off in 1969, 1970, man. That's when the orders started coming through. I will set them in order before thine eyes. That's why in Revelation 11 and 11, it tells you that great fear fell upon them, man. Okay? But I know, let me get another precept real quick. Give me a sec. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 12. Yet, and all that will live godly in Yahushua HaMashiach shall suffer persecution, man. All right. And, we suffering, brothers, we going to go through persecution, man. There's going to be a time of persecution. All right. The scriptures go into that, which, I want to get it real quick. You know, where it goes into they shall bring you to the courts. Um, come on, where's it at? Um, give me a sec. Shall bring you to the court, something like that. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay, yeah, it was Luke 12. Okay, Luke 12 and 11. Let's get that real quick. All right, because you know they got these things. They got concentration camps now, re-education camps. Let's. This is Luke chapter 12 and verse 11. All right, and it says, "And when they bring you unto the synagogues and unto the magistrates or magistrates and powers, take ye no thought how or what you shall answer, or what you shall say." All right, because let me see, where's it at? Okay, yeah, let's keep reading. "For the Holy Spirit shall teach you in the same hour what you ought to say." Was it this one, man? Give me a sec. It's actually St. Matthew chapter 10 and verse 17. "But beware of men," which is very similar to what I was reading in Luke. "But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and you shall be brought before governors and kings for my name's sake, for the sake of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles." All right. Jump down to 19. "But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you." All right, which not all brothers gonna go through, um, get brought up to the synagogues and everything, but this is a probable cause of what Esau can do. Not saying they gonna do it, but these flock cameras, man, is raising concerns. All right, but ultimately, we walking circumspectly in these times, man. All right, being aware of what's around us. All right, the way we operate and move, man. Okay, because there's a lot of even at work, man, you can have agents watching what we do. All right, watching what we speak of and so on, man. Okay. Let me see if there's more into this. Now I'm gonna close it out. Oh, yep, you see, it says, "Far from promoting public safety, the tech has led to wrongful arrests, profiling, and countless other abuses," man. All right. So with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I just want to kind of touch on this subject, man. This whole flock camera thing, and this ain't no land of the free, like they say, man. Esau Edom is gonna come down with great wrath, and this is one of his tools he's gonna use. All right, want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Until the next one, Shalom.